Welcome back to Scotty's Movies, and today I want to talk about 10 movies that, as far as I'm aware, don't have a UK Blu-ray release. I have a pile here, 10 DVDs, and yeah, I just want to talk about them. Okay, so yeah, I want to talk about 10 movies that I really enjoy and wish they had a UK Blu-ray release. As far as I'm aware, hold my hands up, they don't have one. Comment down below if you know that they do. I'd be really grateful to find out and then hunt them out. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, they don't. This first one I know has a Spanish release, which I'm potentially looking at. But this film is probably going to be 25 years old next year, so I'm hoping it gets maybe a 4K. And it is The Beach by Danny Boyle, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, I did a bit of travelling, and I'm in a little bit, back in the 90s to Australia. And yeah, I think it's because of that I really, really enjoy this film. Basically starts Leonardo DiCaprio. He gets given a sort of a map to a secret island by Robert Carlyle, and then him and a couple of others travellers sort of set off to find it, and it's all about finding this island and starting to live in a sort of community on this island. Yeah, until it takes a bit of a sinister turn, but yeah, I really enjoy this film. I think this looks fantastic in 4K. As far as I'm aware, I don't think it has any kind of 4K or Blu-ray in the US. I might be completely wrong. Again, comment down below if you am. But yeah, this needs one, and yeah, I look forward to hopefully coming out one day. Okay, next film is from the 90s, and it is Forever Young, starring Mel Gibson. This is where he stars as a kind of test pilot that tragedy sort of strikes and he loses his partner, and unable to sort of carry on alone, he agrees to be part of an experiment where he's sort of cryogenically frozen. He wakes up in the 90s, and the story goes from there. A couple of kids in the 90s, one of them which is a young Elijah Wood, find him in the 90s, and then they're trying to sort of help him out, basically. But yeah, I really enjoy this film. I don't know, it's kind of a not a romantic comedy, but sort of a kind of a romantic film. But it's got like this sort of fish out of water, time travel-y sort of aspect that I really enjoy. And yeah, as far as I don't think this has any kind of Blu-ray release. So yeah, that is one I would look forward to coming out one day. Next film is I think the first team up of Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Now, I'm pretty sure this doesn't have a release in the UK or possibly Europe. It might have one in the US, I'm not totally sure. But it's Silver Streak. Yeah, really enjoyed this film. It's the first time they teamed up, and I just think it's a lot of fun. Like a kind of like a runaway train film. It's got aspects of it that probably a bit dated, let's say, now, but it's probably product of its time, but it's still very funny, and yeah, I really enjoy it. So hopefully that one day we'll get a release over here. That's Silver Streak. Next up is a film starring Paul Rudd and Reese Witherspoon, and this I don't think has even had a DVD release in this country, because I've got this DVD of the Region 1 DVD, and this film called Overnight Delivery. This is kind of Road Trip before Road Trip. This film, I think it was about 99, 98. Road Trip come out in 2000. It's a similar story where this guy, Paul Rudd's character, is trying to intercept a package he sort of sends to his girlfriend, sort of in error kind of thing, and yeah, Reese Witherspoon's along for the ride, and it's a funny film. I just always enjoyed this. I think this was a blind buy when I picked up the DVD, the Region One DVD, back in the days of Play.com. It just sounded good, and I've just always enjoyed it ever since. And as I say, I don't think it's on a DVD over here, let alone a Blu-ray. So yeah, it is something I enjoy and like it to come out. Whether it does is a different matter. Next up is a British film that I would have thought a lot of British people have seen, starring Harry Enfield and Kathy Burke, and it's Kevin and Perry Go Large. Yeah, this is proper guilty pleasure. It's probably not the greatest film in the world, but it's a lot of fun. Yeah, Kevin and Perry, if you know the characters, going to Ibiza on holiday, and yeah, all chaos ensues. It's got Rhys Evans in. Is it Rhys Evans? Is that what you say his name? Rhys Ifans in there as a character called Eyeball Paul, kind of a DJ that's ultimately just trying to screw him over, really. But yeah, I really enjoy Kevin and Perry, and I'm surprised they don't have a Blu-ray release over here. Yeah, comment down below if it does though. Next up is a film from 1991, I think this is from, and it was called Encino Man in the UK, and it was called California Man here, starring Paulie Shaw, Sean Astin and Brendan Fraser. Basically, Brendan Fraser as a caveman, gets dug up in the back garden of Sean Astin, and it's just a silly, fun comedy, really. Again, classic sort of 90s, early 90s fun, and I just really enjoy it. And as far as I go, again, don't think it has a Blu-ray. And yeah, I would like one. Thanks very much. And next up is another film from 1991. Again, don't think this is a Blu-ray. Don't think this is has one in the US either, or anyone else. And it's film starring Christina Applegate. Don't Tell Mum, The Babysitter's Dead. Yeah, I don't know what it is about this film. I've seen this so many times. I just love it. Christina Applegate left to look after her younger brothers and sisters when the mum just decides to go travelling or go off on holiday. Don't think we get away with it these days. But yeah, and she's left with a kind of babysitter that an old lady that's horrible but ultimately dies, and she has to sort of step up and get a job and look after the kids. It's just a lot of fun. I can say I've seen this countless times, but again, don't think it has a Blu-ray. I want it to have one. Whether I'll get it is a different matter. Next up is a classic 80s film, comedy again. I think this is from 1986, I believe. I think it was 86. Directed by Jim Abrahams, David Zucker's Jerry Zucker, like the team behind the sort of Airplane. But it is Ruthless People with Bette Midler, Danny DeVito, also stars Helen Slater and Judge Reinhold. Yeah, I love this film. This is such a funny film. Yeah, it's I don't know why this hasn't got a release. Well, again, if it has in the States, I don't, maybe it has. I don't know. I'm unaware. But yeah, kind of where Bette Midler gets sort of kidnapped, and Danny DeVito, her husband, basically doesn't really care. He doesn't want to pay the ransom money, and yeah, and he's just happy for him to bump her off. But it's just a mad film. Also stars with Bill Pullman as well. But yeah, I really enjoy this one.
This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Okay, so next up is another 80s film. This one stars Kirstie Alley, Tom Berenger and Sidney Poitier. And to be honest, I think it's the only Sidney Poitier film I have seen. And over here it was called Deadly Pursuit. Yeah, I remember watching this in the late 80s on Sky. And I've always been a fan since then. I rewatched it recently and it's a great little thriller. Sidney Poitier's after this this sort of villain basically that ultimately escapes to the mountains and hooks up with a kind of a mountain climbing group, and he's sort of follows him with some Behringer and so. And what's cool about it is you don't know who the killer is. There's Kirstie Alley, who's like kind of the guide, and there's about 5 guys with her, including I think Clancy Brown is one of them as well. Another name I recognise. But yeah, you don't know who the killer is, and it's just a good little thriller. Don't really get talked about. I know it's called Shoot to Kill in the US, but again, I don't believe it has any kind of Blu-ray or 4K. Again, comment if it has. But yeah, that is Deadly Pursuit. And the final one I want to talk about is a John Candy movie, again from the 80s, again another comedy. Now, I know this does have a Blu-ray in the US. It's kind of a bit like a one of these kind of things, like a VHS edition, I think, in the US. But I don't think it has a release in the UK. And that is Who's Harry Crumb. Yeah, this is just a fun John Candy movie. It doesn't really get talked about very often. He's just really stupid in this. He's kind of a detective that a lot of the time sort of gets by. A bit like Frank Drebin in Police Squad. He kind of gets by accident, solving crimes by accident and that. But it's just, I think it's just a hilarious film. Also stars Annie Potts from Ghostbusters, Tim Thomerson, Shawnee Smith from the Saw movies, also Jeffrey Jones in there as well. But yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think it's a lot of fun, and like I say, I wish I had a UK Blu-ray release. And yeah, that is it for this video. Comment down below again if any of these movies do have a UK Blu-ray release. Please let me know, and please direct me in as to where I can get them. And comment down below also if there's any movies you know don't have a release over here that you or anywhere maybe that you desperately want to see on DVD, on Blu-ray or 4K. Yeah, so don't forget to like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.